Hi everybody! I hope you're all doing very well. And so today I would love to share on how to let go. Now, this topic, everybody could possibly resonate with that, right? Because letting go is something, it's quite a big lesson for every one of us in life. Be it is something big or something small, from having an argument with a stranger in the supermarket, and that could possibly ruin our mood, right, of the day, or it could be letting go of somebody, a loved one, or a family member after they passed away, right? There could be many scenarios and many different cases in life that we have to learn to master the lesson of letting go. And so today, that would be the topic for us to explore. And I'm gonna go quickly, like right into the gist of this, on the letting go of things, people, places, and things. Okay. When it comes to letting go, what is letting go? I'm asking you, have you ever thought of this? What is letting go? We have always heard of, over the internet, or people saying this, letting go, just let go, just let go, just let it be, right? Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be, right? But it's just not so easy. Okay, yeah, I totally understand. I get you. But have you ever thought of, from another perspective, we have always been talking about just let go, just let go, just let go, right? Asking you or everyone just to take the action of letting go. But it seems to me that everybody's having quite a hard time to reconciling with the idea of it, because we've always understood somehow in some way that letting go is an idea. It's the idea of letting go that we are stuck with, that idea of it. The idea of something is merely an idea. So are we actually implementing it? But in order to implement something, we have to understand it first, right? But even if we understand the idea of it, does it mean that we understand the implementation of it, or say the application of it? So in order to go deeper into this, understanding the art of letting go. So let's erase that, the idea of letting go, replace the idea here, right, with the art of letting go. I'm going to ask you a question. When it comes to letting go, we have always been so focused on what can I do if I don't let go, right? Like, what can I do more? What can I do more? If I text this person more, would he or she reply me? If I show more love to this person, would he or she love me more? If I argue more, explain myself more, would these people understand me? If I speak up to debate with other people, would they try to see my point? Or one day they would actually see my point? We always think in this direction, right? We always take actions according to this. Like, what if I do this? Would they do this, right? Do you notice a pattern here? This is actually, we're trying to change something. What is that something? We're trying to do something to change how other people perceive us. We're trying to change something in the external. That's a common pattern between all of these scenarios. So what if we can actually ask a question in another way? Instead of asking, what can I do to change this in order to change the outcome of what I want to see? What if I ask a question to myself? What if we ask the question, what is the cost of holding on? What is the cost? Now, I know if I do this or this, it might become this, but if I do this, what's the cost behind of me doing all of this? Because everything does come with a cost, right? So if I spend time, energy, attention trying to hold on to something, meaning I'm not letting go, right? What is the cost? I'm paying something in exchange for that experience of not letting go, aka holding on to something or someone. Because I'm holding on to that experience, but what am I getting out of it? I'm trying to get something out of what I want to see or what I expect to see. And when it doesn't come in the way that I expect, I feel even more frustrated most of the time, right? So let's turn that direction, shall we? To asking oneself, what is the cost of me holding on to this? Be it is a person or a place or any kind of thing, that makes us feel more anxious. Like it doesn't do any more good to us. But it's just we have been trying to let go of something, but it's not easy to let go, but we don't know how, right? It's at this exact point that we should ask ourselves, what is this cost of me holding on to this? What am I paying? My time, my energy, even my career, even my family, the people that I actually truly love, money, opportunities. You can count however you want. Health, even. We can count. Is it worth it now? Thinking of the ways that, is it worth it that I'm spending this much time or just whatever it is that actually are so much more valuable than me holding on to something. And what does it give me if I'm holding on to this? That's the cost. These are the costs of holding on to something. Then that would apply to different people, because it depends on the situation. So why don't we use an example, right, to demonstrate how this would manifest in real life? Let's use argument as an example, like arguing with other people, right? When it comes to argument, usually it is in the form of debate. And when it's in the form of debate, but what is argument essentially? It is a heated form of debate. And so that would then turn into argument, right? It's just a heated form, emotional as it's just so heated. So it would then turn into argument. Because people would then become emotional rather than rational. Okay, and usually when they become emotional, they would then end up rationalizing their own emotions at the very end of it and just bottling it up, the emotions, and not releasing it. And that would turn into even more anger and frustration. And then if they don't realize that quickly, that this is actually going into a vicious cycle, if they want to continue on arguing, be it is like from time to time, again and again and again, again and again, in daily life, in family, in any kind of context, it could also happen this way. It's just gonna disrupt their own inner peace, right? So let's use argument as an example here. And the perspective that I'm gonna approach when it comes to using arguments as an example is, quote unquote, how to win every single argument in our lives. Yes, how to win every single argument in our lives. So in order to win an argument, first we have to understand, first of all, why do I want to argue, right? Why do I want to argue something? Why do I want to argue with this person? Why do I want to argue as regarding to this kind of topic with this person? Or say bring up a debate, right? Why do I need to ask this question first, right? It's because when I ask this question, why do I want to argue? Or say, why am I even arguing? It gives myself a moment to reflect on or realize that, is it actually worth what I'm putting into, like my energy, my time, my words even? That really would bring me to a halt and realize the cost of arguing. And that is the same as the cost of holding on to something, because everything does come with a cost. And so if I then now understand that, oh, okay, wait a second. If I choose to argue with this person, if I choose to stay in this argument, am I actually going anywhere with this? Because the other person is actually also arguing with me. And the situation is that we are all having very strong standpoints. And if we are not actually discussing, there's a very huge difference between discussing and arguing, which is, if I'm to discuss with somebody, it means that we are trying to see from each other's perspective by expressing ours individually. And so then we can see from each other's point of view. By exchanging ideas, that would be discussion. But if it is argument, no, it's just that I want to convince you. I want to convince you. I want to convince you with my point of view, and you have to agree with it. Now, if two parties, both embrace such an idea within themselves, this argument is gonna remain an argument. That is not gonna go anywhere, because discussion brings us to common ground, while argument brings us to diversion, right? We're just gonna diverge. Even more arguments. It's just gonna bring us to more arguments. So discussion, when consciously done, it brings us into consensus. And there's a difference between discussion and argument. And so now, that would then be, if I ask myself, how to win every argument, right? That's what I said. And it's exactly when I realized that if I want to argue, I actually have to pay. There's a cost behind it. And I'm actually using my energy, my time, and even the relationship. That I have the bonding between me and this person, if I actually truly love this person, and I'm actually arguing with them, that's a cost right there. There's a cost. That's it. That is a cost. And so if I understand this, all of these costs that I have to bear. I have to bear all these costs when I choose to argue. Then I will simply just exit. I would just shut up. I'm just not going to argue because I know the cost behind it. Right? There's no point. I'm like, ooh, wow, that's actually not worth my time. That's actually not worth my energy, because it's just gonna be, it's not gonna end. It's just gonna get into more arguments. And if I want to argue, what does it mean? Why do I even want to argue? Because I just want to be heard. I just want to be validated. Right? The reason behind every argument, everyone wants to be heard. Simple as that. I just want to be validated. I just want my own perspective be validated. That's why we argue. And when both parties don't want to validate each other, then where is this going to go? It's just parallel. It's not going to meet. It's not going to cross path, right? It's not going to, if both parties are just like this, I just want to convince you on this, I just want to convince you on this, they're not going to meet each other. So it's never going to end. It's just parallel. Keep going. So then we would then see the cost is high. And so I would just simply exit the argument. And when we choose to exit, or say choose to leave any argument, that's how we win every argument. Why? Because you are actually, you're allocating your energy, your time, and your love, your relationships to a better place. You're not expanding them in an unconscious way. You win yourself. You win your conscious self. You win all the emotions. You win your own heated arguments within yourself. Oneself, I would even say that. How to win every argument? Win oneself. Be the better version of oneself. That's how we win every argument. See from a higher ground. Is it worth it? No. So I'm not doing it. I ain't doing it. No. And so now, what does it mean then? When it comes to the cost of arguing and the cost of holding on, the cost of holding on, it's the same. Is it worth it? Is it worth it? Now, if we have come to a point that we understand that, yeah, it's actually not worth my time. It's actually not worth my energy even, or attention to spend on this person, or to spend on this job, or to spend on whatever context it is. However, we usually would come to a point where we would ask, what if? What if it's not this case? What if this person didn't mean it this way? What if we can become better? What if, right? Now, there's nothing wrong in this, nor right in this. It doesn't matter, because truly, there are different kind of possibilities, and it's true that there are many kinds of what ifs, right? It's all possible. It's all possible. So, in this kind of case, it's very important to understand what are we trying to reconcile with. Why am I saying this? It's because whatever we are trying to argue, or even whatever we try to let go, it is something of there's an opposition, there's an opposing force. You see, if I am arguing with somebody, there's an opposing force. That's why I'm arguing, right? Polarities. If I am holding on to something, what does it mean? There's something I can't get yet. So there's an opposing force. Does it make sense? If I want someone to do the thing that I want to do, or I want to be with someone, or I want to get this job, or I want to have my family understand me, these are all different versions, cases of not able to let go of something or some people, or just simply an idea of something, or thought of something. This is polarity. Because say you are here or we are here, these are the things that we are holding on to. What is this? This is tension. This is the tension. This is stalemate. Stalemate. This is stalemate. The same as argument. Stalemate. It's parallel. It's parallel. You see, it's stalemate. It's not moving. So in order to reconcile with this, because whenever we reconcile with something, we release that. That is letting go. Okay, so how do we reconcile with this opposing force? Be it is in the context of an argument or is in the context of holding on to something. In the case of argument, it is basically we simply exit, right? We just don't have to talk about it. We choose not to argue. And at the same time, if in the case of this, I'm talking about the polarities, right? To reconcile with something would set us free. If in the case of argument, yes, we can exit, we can choose not to, right? We can choose not to argue. That's one way. Another way, which is to reconcile with it. How do we do that? Agree. Simply agree with the opposing force. It's not to agree to disagree though. No, it's agree to end the conversation. It's agree to end the debate. It's agree to end the argument. It's agree to win oneself back, to win the inner peace back. That is reconciling with the opposing force, because I very much understand that it's not going anywhere, so I choose to reconcile with the opposing force. I simply agree and sort of disintegrate any of this kind of tension or stalemate situations. And so I can move on, move forward happily, right? So that would be in the case of argument. When in the case of holding on to something, say this is us, okay? We're here. This would be the things that we're holding on, that we want to let go of but unable to at this point. It's a stalemate situation. Be it because somebody is trying to hold back information from you, or someone, or it's a betrayal experience, or it's any kind of a job opportunity and you're waiting for like a callback, or even when it comes to family situations, any kind of situations like that. Or even your idea of someone or your idea of something, a piece of memory in the past. Similarly, what can we do here? Which is to reconcile. Reconcile with the very idea of this. And what does it mean? Reconcile with the opposing force, right? This is the opposing force. It means accept it. Accept it. Yes. In any kind of situations in life, many people would say it's either accept it or change, right? You either accept it or change it. So in this case, it would be, say, you accept what it is. You accept the situation as it is. Or alternatively, you can change the situation, or say, change yourself, right? However, most people would reside with that option of changing other people. Okay, so that would then be, trying to do things in order to change the external outcomes, in order to fit what I expect. Okay, that would be how we usually would operate, and that would be not letting go. That would be holding on because I want to change something in the external. However, what I'm suggesting here is the formula. The formula is not only that we are choosing accepting the situation as it is, so we're agreeing, okay? We also take changes, and this change happens within ourselves. Okay? So we're choosing the third pathway here, which is accept plus change equals growth. Growth. Okay? Because when we accept the situation as it is, be it what kind of situation it is, I fully understand, embrace whatever happened. And then at the same time, now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be the change now. I'm gonna make forward movements towards my own self-growth, my own well-being, my own self-empowerment. I agree whatever happened, happened. And I agree whatever they said. It's okay if they said it, and I understand it felt hurt, or I understand that it felt uncomfortable for me, and I fully acknowledge how I feel. That aside, or say alongside with all of this, I'm now making the changes to move forward, to follow my passion, to follow my calling in life, be it in any way, okay? I'm gonna eat healthier, I'm gonna sleep regularly, or I'm gonna go to connect with nature more. I'm going to expand my social circle in many different ways, okay? That is more of towards a positive change within oneself. Within oneself. And so with that, we would then be able to let go of whatever that is not serving our highest good or our well-being. Because not only now we know the cost of holding on. Okay, it's not worth it, it's not worth my time, it's not worth my energy. I've been spending this on this, and it's not making me feeling any better. So I know the cost already. And I choose not to spend any more time, energy, on this particular thing or people. Okay, I know the cost, and I also choose to reconcile with that opposing force. I'm not resisting it. I accept it. I accept it as it is. Plus, I'm taking actions to enhance my quality of living, my own self-growth, my self-care, and I'm taking a change to make all of this happen. The cost, accept, change for growth. Okay, I hope this video finds you well and that you find it helpful. If you find these contents resonating with you, please give it a thumbs up and also consider subscribing if you might like to. Okay, so I thank you for your support, patience, and time as always, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye bye.